After midnight. Is static on Route 13. Shadowcast FM 91.1 After Midnight, Issue 01. Static on Route 13. Rain hammered against the windows of the Shadowcast FM studio while downtown Golden Coast drowned beneath neon reflections and distant sirens. 2:13 a.m. Most of the city was asleep. The rest were listening. Inside the station, Shadow leaned back in his chair, watching the storm crawl across the skyline beyond the studio glass. Empty coffee cups cluttered the desk beside blinking radio equipment and stacks of handwritten notes nobody else would ever understand. The on-air sign glowed red above him. Soft static hissed beneath the jazz record spinning quietly through the station. Shadow adjusted the microphone. 91.1 Shadowcast FM, he said calmly. For everybody still awake tonight, you're not alone. Thunder rolled across the harbour. Calls had been strange all week. Truckers hearing voices through dead CB channels. Drivers spotting headlights on roads where no vehicles should have been. People calling the station just to sit silently breathing into the phone before hanging up. Golden Coast had always been weird after midnight. But lately, it felt different. Shadow glanced toward the station clock. 2:14 a.m. The phone rang. Once, twice, 3 times. He answered immediately. Shadowcast FM. You're live. Nothing. Only static. Then finally, you still talking about Route 13? The voice sounded distorted, mechanical, like somebody speaking through broken speakers underwater. Shadow straightened slightly. Who's asking? Another burst of static crackled through the line, hard enough to distort the studio monitors. Then, I saw him tonight. Outside, rain slammed harder against the city. Shadow muted the background music. You saw who? For several seconds the caller said nothing. Then quietly, the midnight hauler. Lightning flashed across the skyline. Somewhere downtown, police sirens erupted. Shadow rubbed his tired eyes. The midnight hauler story had spread through Golden Coast for months now. A blacked-out semi-truck supposedly haunting the highways outside the city. No plates, no driver. Just dead headlights and CB radio static moments before people disappeared. Most thought it was bullshit, truck stop folklore, late-night paranoia. But the callers kept coming, and every story sounded almost exactly the same. What happened? Shadow asked carefully. The caller breathed heavily into the phone. I was heading north past Route 13 near the old industrial turnoff, he whispered. Road was empty. Then my radio started making this awful sound. Static crackled violently through the station speakers. Shadow reached for the volume knob. Then what? I saw headlights behind me. The storm outside seemed to go silent for one impossible second. I sped up, the caller continued, but the truck stayed behind me the whole time. Didn't matter how fast I went. Shadow's fingers tightened around the microphone. And then... The line distorted again. He started talking through my radio. The studio lights flickered once, softly. Almost unnoticeably. Shadow looked up immediately. What did he say? The caller's breathing became shaky now. He said... Another blast of static exploded through the speakers. Then silence. Dead silence. Shadow checked the soundboard. The line was still connected. Hello? Nothing. Only rain. Then suddenly, headlights flashed outside the studio window. Shadow froze. Far below on the empty street outside Shadowcast FM, a massive black semi-truck slowly rolled through the intersection beneath the storm. No company logo, no visible plates, dead headlights, only darkness. The truck stopped briefly beneath the building. Then the station phone rang again. Shadow stared at it. The caller ID displayed unknown signal. The line connected by itself, and through the static, a deep, distorted voice whispered, "You're next." The broadcast suddenly cut dead. This is 91.1 Shadowcast FM. Stay safe, stay true, and as always, stay golden. Stay tuned for the next issue.